And you must be Mr. Bliss's replacement. Welcome, Mr. Beach. Or is that Bond? I'm a little confused.
Well, we wouldn't want that, would we?
Exactly what kind of banking do you specialize in, Mr. Bond?
Hostile takeovers.
I take it that this is not a social call, 007.
Correct. You should have brought lilies.
And meanwhile, how do you kill 5 hours in Rio if you don't snap?
Shaken, not stirred. On this day in 1989, License to Kill was released. While many talented actors have had the privilege of portraying this iconic Ian Fleming character over the decades, some stand out over the rest. What was your favorite portrayal of 007? Let us know in the comments. Number 7. David Niven. If the name doesn't ring any bells, that's okay. He played the famous 00 agent only once. And while the movie's title may sound familiar, the tone and style are not what you'd expect from a Bond movie. 1967's Casino Royale was a spy parody, featuring a portrayal of our favorite secret agent that wasn't exactly meant to be definitive, or even canon.
And now, madam, if you would be kind enough to furnish a few answers.
Our orders were to corrupt you, to befoul your image of yourself. Failing that, we were to kill you.
Still, if you watch the movie with the right expectations, Niven's performance is fine, we guess, for a goofy James Bond satire.
Good night, ladies.
Number 6. George Lazenby. Lazenby's portrayal of Bond in On Her Majesty's Secret Service is seldom celebrated. In his defense, he did have to follow up Sean Connery.
Do you always arm yourself for a rendezvous?
Occasionally, I seem to be excellent, Prawn.
In his first and only appearance as 007, the Australian actor offered a new, more vulnerable take on the character, hitting some surprising emotional beats.
I love you. I know I'll never find another girl like you. Will you marry me?
Nonetheless, his performance can come across as flat, and his English accent, well, it's barely there.
Yes, sir. I understand.
To be fair, Lazenby was young, inexperienced, and lied to get the part, forging his resume and pretending he was a big-time actor. That's actually pretty James Bond.
You gave a very accurate description.
Number 5. Timothy Dalton. When Dalton took on the role of Bond, he wanted to bring back the relative realism of Ian Fleming's novels. As a result, there's a stark contrast between Dalton's films and the more light-hearted Bond outings that preceded them. On the one hand, this makes his Bond less entertaining, but also original and compelling.
If I trusted Koskov, we wouldn't be talking.
Dalton starred as 007 in 2 films, The Living Daylights and License to Kill. Dark, moody, and gritty, his Bond is closer to Daniel Craig's than, say, Roger Moore's.
You earned it. You keep it, old buddy.
Whether you favor Dalton's take or one with more humor, he did a decent job of bringing his version of Bond to life.
Yes. I got the message.
Number 4. Pierce Brosnan.
Beg your pardon? Forgot to knock.
GoldenEye is one of the better films in the entire franchise, and this owes a lot to Brosnan's commitment to the character. He enters with a bang, drawing inspiration from previous Bond styles to combine charisma, humor, and grit.
Enjoy it, while it lasts.
Very words I live by.
It all adds up to a more believable performance, without sacrificing the light-hearted moments that make the movies work. His ability to keep his cool in high-intensity situations adds to his suave charm.
So, by what means shall we execute you, Commander Bond?
What, no small talk? No chit-chat? That's the trouble with the world today. No one takes the time to do a really sinister interrogation anymore.
Sure, his outings as Bond after GoldenEye went downhill, but when he's on screen, you just can't look away.
Now, I dare say, 007, that you've met your match with this machine.
Yeah, new model, improved specs.
I thought you were on the inactive roster, some kind of injury.
Yes, well, we'll see about that.
Number 3. Roger Moore. Starring in 7 Bond movies, Roger Moore shaped the role like few other actors. He brought a laid-back, debonair approach that emphasized humor and witty quips.
The name's Bond. I believe you have a reservation for me.
We've been expecting you.
Good.
I hope you have a pleasant stay.
I'm sure I will.
Yes, films like Octopussy and Moonraker push the limits of ridiculousness, and in many cases, the situations that Moore's Bond finds himself in border on the comical. But his take on the character is just a lot of fun.
I'm now aiming precisely at your groin. Says speak or forever hold your peace.
It might not be much like the James Bond from the books, but Moore's performance stands out as one of the most entertaining to watch on screen.
You missed, Mr. Bond. Did I?
Number 2, Daniel Craig.
Apparently we're very much in love.
Do you usually leave it to porters to tell you this sort of thing?
Only when the romance has been necessarily brief.
Visceral, intense, intimidating, and scary, Craig's Bond is the last one you'd want to be in a room with if you were on his kill list. Despite people having low expectations for his version of Bond, he's now considered one of the best, and Casino Royale is probably many fans' favorite Bond film of all time.
Yes. Considerably.
Craig is as true to Ian Fleming's character in the books as you can get. He gets the job done no matter what, and for the most part, does so with a clear conscience. On the odd occasions he does show vulnerability, we know it will transform into something fierce soon after.
Bond, I need you back.
I never left.
Number 1, Sean Connery. Sir Thomas Sean Connery, rest in peace. You were the first Bond, and no one can compare.
Who are you?
My name is Pussy Galore.
I must be dreaming.
Playing Bond in 6 movies between 1962 and 1971, and returning to the role a 7th time in 1983, Connery was perfect in the role, exuding style and gravitas. He dominated scenes with his wit and charm. His one-liners were perfect for the era, too. Connery's 007 knows he's the coolest, most dangerous person in the room, and it's evident in every gesture and inflection.
Do you lose as gracefully as you win?
I wouldn't know. I've never lost.
This game has been played, and I have lost. That's it.
He's never gone this far before.
He's certifiable.
His introduction as Bond in Dr. No remains one of the most iconic moments in the entire series.
I admire your luck, Mr.
Bond. James Bond.
Mr. Bond, I suppose you wouldn't care to, raise the limit?
I have no objection.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.